Someone asked me in the comments of a previous video that I had done to create a lesson on adverbial phrases. And I thought that's an excellent idea. So here we are. Thank you for the recommendation, and I hope this is helpful to you. Now, from my understanding, when I was researching and preparing my script, adverbial phrases and adverb phrases are exactly the same thing. It's just a difference between American English and British. In American English, they refer to these phrases as adverbial phrases, and in British English, they would refer to these phrases as adverb phrases. So after watching this video, if you are looking up exercises or resources, extra videos on this topic, note that they are the same thing. They are not two different things. It can be confusing, but they are the same thing. And of course, an adverb phrase, as we know, an adverb is a word that modifies, changes, adjusts the verb in the sentence. And an adverb phrase is a group of words that modify or change the verb in the sentence. So let's just quickly go over what an adverb phrase is, and I will identify some basic adverb phrases that you probably know, you've probably seen on a daily basis. And then I will give you 15 advanced adverb phrases that you can introduce into your spoken and written English to sound more advanced, more professional, and just more fluent with your writing and speaking. You can make your conversations more diverse, more interesting, and add emphasis when you want to add emphasis. So as I mentioned, an adverb phrase acts exactly the same as an adverb, but it's a phrase. It's one or more words that modify the sentence, modify the verb in the sentence. So for example, we usually go on holiday in August. Usually is the adverb phrase here. Time goes very quickly. Very quickly is the adverb phrase here. The day passed quickly enough. Quickly enough being the adverb phrase. This works really well for its size. Really well for its size being the adverb phrase. And lastly, luckily for us, the cost was not so high. Now, all of these are quite short adverb phrases. We can also use adverb phrases that are a lot longer. So for example, we kept the new money quite separately from what we'd already collected. Now, all of these sentences make complete sense by themselves. We go on holiday in August. Time goes. The day passed. This works. The cost was not so high. And we kept the new money. All of these sentences make sense by themselves. The reason we add the adverb phrase is to add more interest, more intrigue. There's more context to what we're saying. There's more information to what we are saying. The adverb phrase can also be anywhere in the sentence, the beginning, the middle, or the end. You can add adverb phrases for multiple reasons. To emphasize place, time, or duration, the frequency or degree of which something happens, to evaluate or share a viewpoint, or for linking ideas. So the point of this video today is to give you some more advanced adverb phrases you can introduce into your conversation. So let's start with our first one, under the cover of. Now, typically, you see this in creative writing with the word darkness, under the cover of darkness. And this means the darkness was protecting you. You did something in the dark and you were hidden by darkness. So when we express something as being under the cover of, it means to be hidden. So I might say, under the cover of wanting to help, I asked my boss if I could organize their calendar. Now, what I'm saying here is I was hiding my real intentions by being helpful, offering to be helpful. But perhaps I wanted to organize the calendar because I wanted to know when they were not there so I could then plan a holiday or not be in the office or something similar. Under the cover of is very similar to having a hidden motive. You're protected by something, you're covered by something. I went to the lawyer under the cover of wanting to find out more information, but really I wanted to know the price this would cost if I hired the lawyer. With utter disregard for, this is used often in conversation, especially between native English speakers. With utter disregard for means you completely ignore the following verb or noun. With utter disregard for consequences, you completely do not care about the consequences of your actions. With utter disregard for his friend's feelings, he completely did not care about his friend's feelings when he did whatever it was he did. I know you wanted to be honest and open with the team, but you did it with utter disregard for how that would reflect on me as the team leader. I know you wanted to create a new contract with the client, but you did that with the utter disregard of the time it would take me to write up a new contract without informing me first. You had completely forgotten this aspect of something. You didn't care enough to ask. You didn't care enough to check in first. Against all odds, this can be used anywhere in the sentence. So we could either say, he achieved success against all odds, or against all odds, he achieved success. And what this means is he or she achieved something, did something, but nobody believed it was possible, and all of the circumstances suggested it wasn't going to be possible. So let's say, for example, you have been told your entire life you are not intelligent enough to go to university, but you work hard, you do extra studies, you spend all your time focusing on passing your exams so that you can get into university. Somebody might say, against all odds, you managed to achieve your goal and get into the university of your dreams. So even though everyone said you were not intelligent enough, even though everyone thought you couldn't do it, you did it anyway. At the moment, your business is not doing very well. You're not meeting the sales that you expected to meet. You don't have any new clients or customers, and your marketing tactics are not working. You are not bringing in any new clients. However, you keep going, and against all odds, you have the best year to date. So even though everything is against you, even though it doesn't look like you're going to succeed, you ended the year with more money, more sales, more profit than any other year prior, any other year previous. So you can use against all odds to express that it wasn't expected. People weren't expecting this from you or from someone, but you managed it anyway. With unprecedented can follow any verb or noun to show that this is the first time that this level has been seen. This quality has been seen. This amount of effort has been seen. So for example, with unprecedented advancements in technology, we are reshaping the future of communication. So we've never seen technology as advanced as this before. So instead of saying something like with the new introduction of technology, or just with advancements in technology, by saying with unprecedented, you're saying this has never been seen before. With unprecedented access to information, individuals are empowered and have the ability to make informed decisions like never before. So we could, for example, use ChatGPT, Google, YouTube, any of these information technologies where you can find out anything. How to get into the university of your dreams, how to start a business, how to get 100 new clients in a day. You have all that information available to you, which was not as easy 50 years ago. Yes, we had libraries, but you would have to sit for hours in a library and read through books and articles to find the information you needed. So this era, this year, this century of having all of this information accessible to you so easily from the comfort of your own home is unprecedented. We've never seen anything like this before. With a sense of. Again, this can be followed by any noun to emphasize that noun, to emphasize the way this person, this situation was behaving or played out. So for example, if I say something like, finished his tasks quickly, okay, understood. If I was to say, with a sense of urgency, he finished his tasks quickly. Or even just, he finished his tasks with a sense of urgency. Which one sounds more emphasized and which one sounds more higher level English? With a sense of just means you did something quickly. You did something with importance. You did something that was difficult. So any noun can follow this with a sense of difficulty, with a sense of pride, with a sense of urgency, speed, importance. With a sense of hesitation, he entered the room. With a sense of drama, they had a huge argument. I mean, that's a bit too creative. You probably wouldn't say that in a normal casual situation. But you definitely might say something like, we need to finish this project with a sense of urgency. We need to treat this client with a sense of importance. It's a way of just saying, this is the situation and this is how we need to deal with it, treat it. Through careful planning and execution. Now, this is a wonderful adverb phrase here. Because you could just say, they planned well and achieved their goal. They had a good strategy, so they were successful. But this is such a lovely way, a more creative way of saying exactly the same thing. Through careful planning and execution, they achieved their final goal. Through careful planning and execution, the marketing campaign was rolled out and they had the best year to date. Through careful planning and execution, I was able to secure my dream job. Through careful planning and execution, I figured out which university would be the best for me. I applied and I got in. It just means I made a good plan and I did it. I achieved it. The execution part is the achieving part. So if you were just to use through careful planning, you could just say, through careful planning, I have created a guide to the best places to visit in Asia. But when you add the execution, it suggests you've achieved it as well. So through careful planning and execution, I came up with a guide of the best places to visit in Asia, and I took my family on the best trip they've had in their life. With remarkable precision, precision. Precision is to be precise, to do something with a lot of detail, a lot of attention. So with remarkable precision just emphasizes how much attention, how much detail you put on that thing. I might say, I create my videos with remarkable precision. Now, actually, I don't think that's 100% true. I try to do my best, but I'm not perfect. I might say about a colleague, though, they reviewed my work with remarkable precision. Remarkable shows that I'm impressed by the amount of precision they have put in. You could change it for any other noun as well. With remarkable eye for detail. With remarkable knowledge of the language or knowledge of the topic. My colleague reviewed my work for me. You completed this task with remarkable speed. If we could keep that up throughout the year, I would be most impressed. Despite overwhelming resistance, avoidance, judgment, despite overwhelming, this is almost like the complete opposite of with remarkable. Despite something means this is very, very similar to against all odds. So despite means that people didn't believe in you. The circumstances were not set in your favor. People didn't think you would achieve what you've set out to achieve. And overwhelming is like the utmost. It's so strong, this feeling that you're not going to achieve what you want to achieve. So despite overwhelming resistance, he applied to all of the universities he wanted to go to, meaning everyone advised him against it. Maybe he didn't have the grades, maybe he wasn't cut out for studying. So people were telling him, no, don't do it, don't go ahead with this, but he did it anyway. Despite overwhelming judgment, she achieved her dream of becoming a content creator. Now, the judgment of people were telling her, don't do it, but this was her dream, so she did it. Despite overwhelming criticism, she became the first female doctor in her city. So again, here you can really feel that feeling of everyone was criticizing her, was telling her she couldn't do it, she shouldn't do it, she was bad at her job. But despite all of this, against all of this, regardless of all of this, she became the first female doctor in her city. With a touch of. Now you use this in the same way as despite overwhelming resistance, but as you can hear, with a touch of suggests it's only a bit, it's only a small amount. A small amount of love, a small amount of sarcasm, a small amount of resistance. With a touch of hesitation, she took the new job. Maybe there was more responsibility or the money wasn't quite what she was expecting, so she had some hesitation, but not enough to deny or refuse the job. She still took the job, she just had a touch of hesitation. Exceptionally well. So rather than just saying, you did that well, that was good, you might say exceptionally well. She taught me how to understand English exceptionally well. I fit in with my new colleagues exceptionally well, even though I've only been here 1 week. Using ChatGPT to review my English before sending emails has worked out exceptionally well for me. I feel I'm sounding more professional. Surprisingly easy, or surprisingly easily. Of course, we've got the adverb and we've got the verb there. So if something is surprisingly easy, you thought it would be more difficult. My first meeting with a client was surprisingly easy. I thought they would ask a lot of questions, but actually they trusted me and allowed me to just explain my thought processes. I became accustomed to the new processes at work surprisingly easily. I thought, again, big changes at work. I've worked in this company for 10 years. I thought it would take me a long time to get used to new processes, but I managed it surprisingly easily. Slowly but steadily. If you do something slowly but steadily, if we describe someone as being slow or doing something slowly, typically that has a negative connotation that they were too slow. They weren't fast enough, they weren't quick enough. But slowly but steadily suggests that, yes, they are slow, but they are making progress. To be steady or do something steadily is to make progress. Now, you can use any two adverbs in this style. Gracefully, but reluctantly, she entered the room. Meaning she was graceful, but she didn't want to go or didn't want to enter the room. Easily and elegantly. Quickly and precisely. Confidently, but hesitantly. Now, of course, just make sure if the two words are very similar in meaning, like easily and elegantly, we use and. But if they have opposite meanings, then we need to use but. So slowly but steadily. Gracefully but reluctantly. So gracefully is a positive, reluctant is a negative. So we need to use but to show that it is two opposing ideas. Through sheer determination. This is a lovely, lovely phrase. And you could use this with despite overwhelming resistance or against all odds, because through sheer determination means The only thing that allowed you to be successful, that made you this successful, knowledgeable, professional person was your determination to get there. You never let your goal exit your mind. You always had your goal in mind and you said, I'm going to do this. I don't care what anyone says. Against all odds, despite overwhelming resistance, I am going to do this. I am determined. You might say, I got to where I am today through sheer determination. Nobody helped me. My colleague is so fantastic to work with because through sheer determination, they achieve every goal they set out to achieve. The next one is really lovely when describing a person. Unapologetically, and then your noun. So, for example, somebody is unapologetically kind. So they don't apologize for being so kind. They are always kind. Unapologetically themselves. So without apologizing to anyone, they are always themselves. They never try to be somebody else. Unapologetically authentic. They never apologize for being genuine, for being authentic. It's a lovely way to say that this person is so sure of themselves, so sure of who they are, that they owe no one an apology. If someone was to describe you as being unapologetically something, unapologetically kind, unapologetically yourself, unapologetically open, honest, this is a huge compliment. It might sound like it's not a compliment because unapologetically is typically a negative, but it's not. It's a huge compliment. It's saying you're not worried about what other people think of you. You are always kind, honest, yourself, authentic, genuine. And my last one for you today is seemingly endless. Now, if this video has been seemingly endless, I apologize. I'm joking, I don't apologize. I know my videos have good content in them and I know you enjoy and learn from my videos. Seemingly endless, something seems, feels like it's never going to end. So your working week might be seemingly endless. Your arguments with your I can't speak. Your arguments with your colleagues might be seemingly endless. They never seem to have an end. Your back and forth negotiations with your clients might feel seemingly endless. They never have an end point. So if something is seemingly endless, there's kind of this connotation that you want it to end, but it's never ending. Why is it never ending? Of course, if you were to use adverb phrases every time you had a conversation, it might seem a bit over the top. It might seem not so natural. And this is where I think non-native speakers can sometimes make a mistake because they're trying to sound more natural, more intelligent, more fluent. But if you use expressions in the wrong places, or your friend is asking you questions and you are answering with such long, intricate, intense answers, it doesn't match the situation, it doesn't match the conversation, so it doesn't feel natural. But if you learn when and where to use these phrases, where feels natural, where feels normal, you will start to figure out when is a comfortable time to add adverb phrases into your sentences to emphasize something. Now, just off the top of my head, I can give you a couple of tips. The first is, of course, when you do need to emphasize something in your sentence. The second is if you're telling a story and you want your audience to be captured, to be interested in what you are saying. Using adverb phrases in that situation would definitely help. I also recommend when you're watching native English speakers talk, for example, YouTube videos, when you're watching Netflix, when you're listening to podcasts, when you listen to audiobooks or read English books. Look out for these adverb phrases and notice when they are used. And this will help you to use them more naturally. You can also, of course, go and look online for some exercises to help you know when to use these adverb phrases. Once I finish recording, I will find some exercises that I can post in the comments for you. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. And my last hope for you is that you have a good week this week. So please like before you leave, subscribe if you have not, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.